What's up? My name is Barate. I'm a Radiant coach. And if you want to get your VOD reviewed, just like in this video, join my Discord down below, read the VOD submission rules, and I will get to it live on stream as soon as I can. Enjoy the video. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today we are going to be talking about how to cold read enemy setups, particularly on attack, but this can also work when you are on defense. Now, what a cold read is essentially the art of, without any prior information or without any utility being used, in the buy phase of a round, being able to predict how the round is going to play out based off of what the enemies have been doing, what the enemies should be doing, and also off of economy. This topic showed up in a recent VOD review of mine that I did, and I'm just going to roll that clip right now because I think in the moment I probably explained it pretty well, but then after the clip rolls, I will expound on it a bit more.
I swear to God, this Sage, they dinked me through a smoke and then read what I was doing for the next, 4 rounds. I'm like, alright, listen, there's a low chance they're hacking, but if they can literally see me through walls, I'm not letting this stand.
Yeah. Okay, so
It was
I think I know what this Sage was doing and why you thought that she was hacking, and this is actually a concept that I'm planning on making a video on my YouTube channel, and it's reading enemy setups. The basic concept of it is you always want to know what the enemies usually do and how they normally play. So okay, so imagine this hypothetical scenario. You are on Lotus, you're starting on attack.
Okay.
The enemy team has a Cypher, an Omen, a Raze, a Fade. If I can find Fade, that would be wonderful. Fade.
It's right next to
I am
Deadlock.
blind. I have clinical dumb. Okay, so a Fade, and then they have a Sky as well. Based off of this information alone, you are on attack. It's pistol round. Where do you think that these 5 enemy players will be set up on the map, just based off of your knowledge of the game?
Okay, well, my first thought process is Raze might be holding tree, because they can just probably nade off. Okay, they're going to start off, near the A main, and then they're going to move to tree. They're going to nade A main, and then they're going to move to tree.
Yep.
And then my thought process as well is Fade might be helping out to try to hold people together.
Yeah,
and
the tether nade
deck
combo?
help the
Yep.
nade. Yep.
Tether nade
And
combo,
then Cypher's most likely holding C and B, where he has trips on both.
Yep.
Most likely playing near C, though. And I feel like Omen's probably going to be playing on B to help out, one, the Cypher's, tripwire, but also so that he can, smoke and stuff all around the map.
Mm-hmm.
And Sky is probably going to play near C with Cypher and kind of lurk around and rotate fast if needed.
Exactly, perfect. You just did what a lot of people accuse me of wall hacking for. You read the enemy setup, and this is something that you have to think about every round, because if you think about it, if you have a basic knowledge of the game, you can sort of read this. The problem is people just don't do it, right? And oftentimes, without knowing a single piece of information about these players, what they've been doing, this is pistol round, first round, you've already deciphered their whole setup, which Omen's their B player, a tether nade combo for Rebel, a Cypher's the C anchor, and then Sky's their floater that's just going to be really anywhere, right? But then the other thing is, based off of this information here, which site would be the best site to hit?
I think best site would be most likely wait for the tether nade and then push A, because the Cypher's super far away and has no setup here. Sky's probably going to take a little bit because they start on C. And Omen might be able to attempt to assist, but when it's at least 4 you guys pushing A site, Raze and Fade with no util aren't going to stop you.
A very, very minor problem with that is this area of the map right here. If Omen's playing B and he hears an A rush on pistol round, he's just going to break door, and he's going to be holding this nasty crossfire with his teammates right here.
Okay.
Right? As well in this, your best bet here would probably be to push B, because here the maximum you deal with is a Cypher trip and an Omen Heaven. Right? Okay. But again, this is just more details, and this is very, very off topic, but this is the concept that I'm going to be going over in my next video, is reading enemy setups on attack, and based off of that, figuring out the best site to hit. Because especially when you're in solo queue, people aren't going to be doing any crazy outlandish setups. They're just going to be sticking to what is actually good, and they're just default setups. And unless you're in like super high elo, people aren't gonna really be deviating from the norm that much. Thank you, Berate from the Past. Now, to expound on this topic a little bit more, this is what would be known as a pistol round read, where you have no prior information of what they're doing, and you're basically just using your already existing knowledge of the game to figure out what site is good and what site is bad. But the thing that I forgot to mention here in this VOD review is this is a perfect Lotus team composition. They have smokes, they have trips, they have a damaging utility, they have holding utility, they have information, they have pop flashes, they have everything that a team comp could really ever want, but oftentimes in solo queue, you're not going to get that. So get this exact same scenario again, but imagine instead of a Cypher, they had a Yoru. Based off of that information alone, which site would be the most optimal to hit? I'll give you a little bit of time to think about it, pause the video, whatever you want, but the most optimal site to hit here would most likely be C. Now, you don't have to be a Radiant or an expert in the game to know that if you are on Lotus and you don't have a Sentinel, defending C is an absolute nightmare. You either have to have people stack C, like 3 people on C, but then only leave one person for B and one person for A, or the more likely option is they're just going to give up C and be forced to play retake, because the normal setup for Lotus is 3-1-1, 3A, 1B, and then 1 on C. So, and this is another concept that you have to think about when you're cold reading enemy setups, is what utility do they have, but also what utility do they not have. Now again, we're still in the concept of this is a pistol round. Economy is not in the question at this point. We don't know whether they're on an eco because you both are on equal buys right now. You both have pistols. But really what you want to do is first you want to look at what utility they have. Now let's talk about economy. When you're dealing with economy, when you're cold reading an enemy setup, the second thing you want to deal with is what guns they have and what guns they don't have. And there's really 3 magic numbers that you want to worry about. 3,300 credits is enough, if not just over enough, to force a Vandal in light armor or a Bulldog in light armor with some utility. This would be a perfect thing if the team were to force buy a gun, or they would all be on a save. And you should always assume that when they're low on credits, they will be saving and not forcing. The second option is they all have 3,900 credits or more, and that means that you are most definitely going to be going up against some kind of full buy, Vandal light armor full utility, Vandal heavy shields, whatever. You are going to be up against a full buy. And third is if they have 5,000 credits or more, then you have to start worrying about operators, you have to start worrying about outlaws now that the outlaw's in the game, and you have to really be careful about using utility to clear long sightlines where your team is just going to get picked off by the opping jet main. And also the third thing you have to think about with economy is not only what the enemies can buy, but also what you can buy. So let's go back to the Lotus scenario and imagine that Cypher is on C, they have their Omen on B, and then they have Sky, Raze, and Fade on A ready to do a tether nade combo off rip. The enemy is on a save round and you are on a full buy round. Now, if you think about this scenario once again, you would probably say, oh, it would probably be the same thing. You would just go B and deal with the Omen. But something you fail to realize is they are on a save round. They're probably going to be running with Buckies, Judges, classic right clicks, frenzies, or a lot of close range weapons. And they're probably not going to bother buying utility. So, in this scenario, the most optimal site to hit would be the C site, because you're going to be dealing with less Cypher utility, there are more long sight lines which are better for your rifles against their ecos, and also you don't have to deal with the Omen in the corner of B probably ratting in his smoke with a Judge. Now again, these are all completely hypothetical scenarios, and you should use the information gathered beforehand in the game to figure out your cold reads before you actually commit to any type of execute or any type of plan. And another important thing is you need to communicate all of this to your team and let them know what you should do. And again, this is solo queue. You're going to get teammates that don't listen, and at that point, that's just unlucky. GG, go next. And at that point, you really just want to play your own game, play to bait your teammates, whatever. But if you get a team that listens to the strategies, what you want to do is you want to coordinate with your team to figure out what's the best site to hit off of first utility that they have, second utility that they don't have, and third economy, whether they are on a save, whether they are on a full buy, or whether it is like some kind of anti-eco. And you want to be thinking about the gun's advantages and disadvantages based off of the economy, and then use that to figure out which site you want to hit on attack. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for the algorithm. I want to have as many people have these tips as I possibly can. I have had some phenomenal returns on people asking for coaching, so I'm no longer having people DM me for coaching. I have created a Discord server where you can submit your VOD in the server, and I will go over the VOD live on stream. And if you are present during stream, I will also have you in a call so that you can ask any questions. You can go in the chat and ask me any questions as well, and I will do my best to answer them. But with that being said, I would like to thank you all so much for watching this video. Drop a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Questions, comments, concerns. I will try to answer every single comment. And with that being said, my name is Berate, and see you in the next one.